What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. The stock market is going crazy. We're in earnings season. GME stock is just exploding. It's at $194 in after hours right now. In this video, we're going to be covering some of the earnings from today, what's going on in the market overall. We have a $19 million option at the end of this video, and we're also going to be talking about GME. We have a great video for everyone today. If you are new here, make sure you watch to the end. Don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, Tom, let's get right into today's video.
Yeah, GME is just fantastic, moving all the way up to $194 in after hours, like you said. And this is insane. I thought it was insane that it hit 150 throughout the regular day, but Mike was just like, hey, Tom, check out GME in after hours. And I was like, oh my gosh, 194. This is just insane, and this is really showing the power that Wall Street bets really has. And this is really showing that the retail traders really can take control of these stocks whenever a lot of people get behind it. And I know that the short sellers on this, they're going to be very upset seeing this after hours movement moving all the way up to around $200.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, you thought the stock market was crazy in 2020. 2021 is starting out pretty insane, to say the least. I mean, I really can't believe this stock. It is just exploding, and it shows the true power of a short squeeze. So I don't even know what to think what this thing's going to open up at tomorrow. I mean, are we going to open up at 200, 250? We'll see. But this is just crazy. So what's going on with Microsoft earnings? Because I was looking at the NASDAQ in after hours, and it started to pop. What's going on?
Yeah, Microsoft is doing fantastic, moving from 232 all the way up to 247, and their earnings were 2.03 adjusted versus a 1.64 expected EPS, and their revenue rose by about 17%, going to 43 billion versus a 40 billion expectation. And these are just awesome numbers to see, and I really like the movement here in after hours to the upside, obviously, and it moved from 232 to 247. And if we go on the daily chart, that puts Microsoft at all-time highs once again, and they are starting to really break out, as are a lot of these tech stocks. And it seems like a lot of these tech stocks are really starting to break out, and a lot of that, I think, stems from also Biden taking office. I mean, I know that that's good for a lot of these tech stocks, and a lot of them started to pop and break those highs once he took office.
Gotcha. So yeah, this is pretty crazy. It seems like anytime these tech stocks have earnings, they just skyrocket. I mean, if we look at a Microsoft chart for the past week or so, they went from about, what is it, $215 to about 243. This is pretty awesome to see. But what are you thinking for Microsoft for the next couple days?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they popped quite a bit. I'd like to say that they could continue running, but with this type of pop from like 230 all the way up to 250, I think that they might start to just kind of consolidate or go to the side at least tomorrow whenever they open up. But I think that it's going to depend on what happens with the other earnings that are coming up as well. We have Apple coming up tomorrow after close, Apple, Tesla, and Facebook. So I think that's going to be a big factor in these other earnings as well. Because, for example, if Microsoft pops up today, it's going to take quite a bit of momentum to keep them running up, especially over like $250 a share, which is a pretty key level for these stocks.
For sure. Like you said, three big names tomorrow: Apple, Facebook, and Tesla. So these are going to be very exciting to see. And the market's just going crazy, and I'm excited for them. But with that being said, let's get right into our member of the day. Today's member of the day is Taylor S. So huge shout out to Taylor S. for being a positive member of the Discord, helping other members, and also leaving comments on these videos. It really helps us grow, and we really appreciate it. So thank you for everything you do. But let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we are looking at Square to the downside.
Yeah, Square, go ahead and make them fall below 208.50.
Sounds good. And with the next one, we have Pinterest, also to the downside.
Yep, Pinterest. This one has a pretty good bottom here. Make it fall below 68.57.
All right. And then we have eBay, but to the upside.
Yeah, this one's doing fantastic. Make them pop above $60. And I'm actually surprised that eBay is as low as it is.
True. And then with the last one, we have HYLN, also to the upside.
Yeah, and this one's done fantastic today as well, but make them pop above 1980.
Sounds good. So we're eyeing these four plays for potential day trades only if they can break the levels Tom listed. But let's get right into the $19 million options trade for this week. We are looking at the Microsoft 235 strike calls that expire this Friday, January 29th. Looking at Microsoft, I mean, these options are basically already $10 in the money. I would obviously have to say that they're longing them. I mean, what are you thinking, Tom?
Yeah, I think they had to have longed them, and they might have known something with earnings coming up. I mean, Microsoft was due to have pretty good earnings, and they were just looking awesome, breaking new highs heading into those earnings as well. And really, Microsoft's just a fantastic company that's going to do better even with COVID here. So that's great to see. And Microsoft, it did pop in after hours as expected. And if these guys long these with $19 million on the line, I bet you that those options are going to skyrocket tomorrow morning whenever this stock opens up. But that's just because they had a humongous move. If this only would have moved $5, they might not have made that much.
Sure. I mean, you already know that these options are going to at least double by tomorrow, depending on where Microsoft opens up. So this is pretty crazy. And I bet this move from Microsoft is going to kind of lead the way for the rest of these tech stocks. I bet there's going to be a little bit more bullish sentiment already just priced in heading into Apple and Facebook's earnings, because.
Yeah, and Apple's actually already up in after hours on that Microsoft rise. They're already
Yeah,
up about 2 points in after hours, and they haven't
exactly.
even reported yet.
Exactly. This is exactly what I mean. So, good stuff. But let's get right into the questions from the previous episode. With the first question, we have Viet asking us to go over SNOW. So, let's take a look at Snowflake. If we take a look at their chart, it looks like they've been doing okay the past couple weeks, nothing crazy. They do have an ascending support line, and then they're kind of falling off highs. What do you see with this one?
Yeah, I mean, I really like snow, and I do like. I think it might start to fall, but I hopefully it can hold that bottom support line you were talking about. I'm going to go ahead and draw it here, but I do like it, and I think that it could kind of trade between these two trend lines or support lines, and then maybe pop back to the upside. And this stock had a lot of momentum a while ago, moving all the way up to 429. Now it's around 262, or actually, my mistake, 280. And I think that it's at a pretty good level, honestly, to start picking up some shares for this on the long term. I mean, this is going to be a pretty good stock, at least in the longer term. I know that they had bad earnings here, but other than that, it's been very hyped up, and it's supposed to be a pretty decent tech stock for the future.
For sure. And with the next question, we have TV asking us about our thoughts on Square. So I know we were looking at this one intraday today, Tom. I like it to the downside. I can definitely see it falling over the next couple days to weeks. The only or one risk I do see is because obviously Microsoft had some pretty solid earnings, and that instantly drove up the QQQ. And Square is a tech stock, so if we see a ton of upwards momentum with tech stocks tomorrow, I feel like that can kind of boost Square up, which can ruin that breakdown. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I really agree with you there. And it does just look like, though, that Square is going to continue to the downside. But just like you said, it could always pop back up off of just that news in general and the earnings.
For sure. And with the next question, we have Piper asking us, looking at CGC and the pullback, and is NOK and AMC a part of Wall Street bets? So, yes, I've been hearing a lot of hype around AMC and a little bit around NOK lately. Obviously, GME is the star of the show right now, but I've been hearing a little bit of talk about AMC. So I actually drew a resistance line, and I was eyeing this thing out for the past 2 to 3 days, and I've been calling it out as like the potential free day trade in the Discord chat. And their resistance is at $5.27, and it's actually about to break that right now. It's at $5.25. If it can break above this level, 527, and hold that, I can really see this thing popping. There is increased hype around it, and it's starting to break out on a technical level, and it just broke that resistance. So, yeah, I do see a lot of potential with AMC. But it will definitely be volatile. I don't want to compare it to GME just yet, but when there's a lot of hype behind a stock like this, it can definitely run up for a couple days. What are you thinking with AMC?
Yeah, I mean, I really like that resistance that you said, and it's funny that it broke it right whenever we were talking about that. But I just really like it to the upside. I think that a lot of people are going to be getting behind this stock, very similar to how they got behind GME. And I'm not saying this one's going to fly up to $150 by any means, but I think that they could go up a little bit just off of the momentum. And they're already at 538.
Gotcha. With the next question, we have Jalan saying, "Thank you for the amazing episode, Mike and Tom. What are your thoughts on IZEA for the long term?" So, looking at this stock, it went from about 20 cents to $7, which is awesome to see. They are a marketing company, but this isn't a long term investment for me. I like it for short term trading. It has a lot of volatility, which is great for short term trading. They don't have options, which is kind of a bummer. But we can see that they have a pretty strong resistance level right around that $7.50 level. I can see it for some short term swing trades or maybe day trades, but it's just not a long term hold for me.
Yeah, I actually like it off the 100 SMA, at least on the 15-minute chart here. I think as long as we can hold this, it might continue back to the upside, but it's starting to actually look like it might start to fall down below that. And I think if it falls below that, we might start to fall back down towards $5 or even $4.50.
For sure. With the next question, we have Mind saying, "Hey there, guys. I was wondering what you think about Facebook and Twitter with their upcoming earnings. I love your content. It is entertaining and helpful." Well, thank you for that. And earnings are like the actual earnings release is always a gamble, right? No one knows for sure if a stock's going to go up or down on earnings. Sometimes stocks report great earnings and they fall, and sometimes they report horrible earnings and they rise, you know? But with Microsoft's earnings, I think that is really going to be like a leading, like telltale sign what other tech stocks are likely to do. Like we can see right when Microsoft reported earnings and started to go up, we saw Apple go up and we saw the QQQ go up, and a lot of other stocks followed Microsoft's movement. So I bet that we're going to see similar movements from Apple and Twitter. Of course, I mean, Facebook and Twitter, like you're asking, of course, nothing is guaranteed, but it really just seems like the tech stocks are kind of shifting that way, you know, especially from a huge company like Microsoft. With the next question, we have Actor saying, "Love your guys' videos. Thank you so much. Any thoughts on Zoom? It keeps hitting exactly 400, drops super fast, and keeps doing it every day." So great question, and thank you for that comment. I like Zoom for the long term. Yes, they do have a resistance at 400. That's a psychological level, that $400 level. I like it for the long term. It might not break above 400 in the short term, but for the long term, I really like shares, and I feel like, you know, over the next couple weeks or months, it will definitely break above that level and continue to expand in the future. What do you think?
Yeah, I really like Zoom as well. I think that in the long term they will break above that, just like you said. And I really like their bounces off the support around 350, and I think that they could even fall down to like 300. But I just think that picking up shares anywhere around 300 to 350, even up to 400, is a very good level to start to look at. And even right now, you could sell some puts, like some 350 puts, and then get some decent premium out of it if Zoom does end up staying up and above 350.
For sure. And with the next question, we have Joe talking about your stock, Tom, SPCE.
Yeah, I really like this. Up 16%, broke all-time highs today. They bounced off of $44, and they're kind of holding up there. I really like how they held that $40 support almost after they hit 44. But the thing is the SPC is very volatile, broke all-time highs. Nobody knows which way this one's going to go right now. You can see the all-time high was previously around like 42.77. It might have been even higher than that if we go back on an intraday level. But I think that 44 is going to be a pretty good resistance tomorrow on this, and it's just awesome to see. I sold my shares a little while ago, so I'm not in this run up, but I think that it's just an awesome stock, and it's really just a momentum stock to me. I'll just make some day trades on this, and hopefully it can break 44 and we can keep running. But man, I think it would have to consolidate at some time or another.
Tom, you got to check out GME right now. This thing is crazy.
Oh, 244. Oh my gosh, Mike. Wow. So it almost hit 250 like you said it might.
Wow, this is insane. You know, it just goes to show the power of a short squeeze and a low float, you know, and there's so much hype around it. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing's at 260 by open tomorrow. I mean, who knows with the pace it's running right now? I mean, this thing is It's truly crazy. And some of these options, like I saw people turning, $100 and into like 60 grand, a couple days ago. Like some of these options have to like literally be exploding. So, I mean, this thing is crazy. I can't believe it. We have a crazy start to 2021. I'm excited for the rest of the week with earnings, but are you watching anything specific for tomorrow?
Man, I know I'm definitely going to be watching GME, and in the morning I'm going to be watching Boeing's earnings and AT&T's earnings. Then after hours, I think we're going to have a lot of fun seeing Tesla, Apple, and Facebook. So that's what I'm going to be watching.
Sounds good. And then I have one more stock too, and it's INO. So this stock isn't moving too much just yet. But I feel like if this stock starts to have increased volume, this thing can really run. It's been on my radar for a couple days now, and I just have my eye on it. I don't love the setup right now, but it's definitely on my radar. If it starts to run, I will definitely like it to the upside. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys want to trade the same options as Tom and I every single day, you can click the Stocked Up Options Alerts link in the description down below. We're doing a $40 off sale. As always, if you have any comments, let us know in the comments down below. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, thanks for watching.